we are going to switch things up a little, because after all, it is Valentine's Day, right?
Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day,
Yeah,
Amber.
same to you. But you know who you got to love before you can love someone else? You got to love yourself.
Some people would say I love myself a little too much.
I would never say that, Vlad. Not in front of you.
Okay.
Okay. No.
I'm sure I'm getting a lot of Twitter hate about, like, Vlad, shut up and go back to J school.
All right, so a new book is helping people find the truth of who they are by being cozy. How lovely does that sound?
So cozy is the art of arranging yourself in the world, and it aims to help find readers what simple choices can make them feel more of themselves. And the way you find cozy might actually surprise you. Isabel Gillies, right? Gillies, sorry. I know you said that before, but Isabel Gillies is the author of Cozy, and she joins us now. Good to see you.
Hi. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's. I love this sweater. It's perfect for what we're talking about here. What is cozy?
So, cozy is not, I think people think of it as sort of fires and hot chocolate and
soft sweaters.
Yes. Soft sweaters, exactly.
The physical sensation of cozy.
Yes, and warmth. But to me, that can be very cozy, but also my coziest place is the New York City #1
I know, I saw that.
The Broadway
I was like,
line.
what is she talking about?
Wait, say, I didn't hear it. What is the
So the coziest place for me is on the subway, and you get a corner seat, and with your magazine, and maybe something to make you feel, if it's whatever temperature it is.
Yeah.
And there you are with humanity and the rumbling, and that is truly, if I don't feel if I feel sad, if I'm not all right, if I get on the subway, I'll just feel better.
Are you from New York?
Yes, and that's the point. The point is that I am from New York, and my parents were strap hangers. They were, took the subway all the time, and so at the end of the day, they would talk about their transportation and the MTA and what happened, if the B was there or not, or the end of the hour. And I think it just went deep into me and became a part of who I am. Therefore, now I use it in the world. So I think pencils are cozy, mailboxes are cozy, jury duty is extremely cozy.
Right.
So it's about the truth of who you are and then bringing it to places like a hospital. Life is rough. And there's a lot of times that you find yourself in places that aren't so typically cozy, but you can bring it with you. And so I talk to nurses, I talk to architects, I talk to, Doctors Without Borders, because people need to feel okay just for a minute, and if you like your watch, if you're in a troublesome situation, you might just be aware that you could check in with it, and even for that little minute, feel better.
So as you're talking, I've sort of got this visual image of you sort of in the corner of the subway, and people watching, and all the lovely things about that, and being sort of the real you. And this is kind of what this book is about, is sort of getting in touch with who you really are and loving it.
Yeah, your authentic self, and what is true to you might not be true to me. That's why the sweaters and the sort of the huiga, it doesn't really work for someone who lives in Polynesia, or we're all different. We're all different, and we're all the same.
Okay, we need concrete steps though. How do we get to our personal cozy?
Well, identifying what you like, it might be difficult, right? Because here I am saying you have to know who you are, and then you have to know what flower you like. But what if you don't? And that could be really intimidating and overwhelming, and maybe make you feel sad. Like, I don't really know. Well, there are two things. One, you can go to your history. Where'd you come from? Who's your family? Where were you born? And we're all really different. People have sometimes two parents, don't have any parents, they're orphans, there's bad situations out there, but that doesn't mean that it can't be still cozy, because how you grew is important to how you'll go through the world. And to know that and own it and name it and have it with you in your pocket is really helpful when things are rough.
It strikes me that a lot of what you're suggesting in the book, and it's difficult for people to sometimes find themselves in that moment, is being in touch with sort of the present. Like the idea of just, you're on the subway, it is what it is, and there are, if you look hard enough, there are lovely things about the New York City subway, and there are some terrible things, but if you find yourself in that moment, you can find the beauty of life, the teeming humanity that is around you, the very loud person who's got those Beats by Dre headphones on at like decibel 15.
But then you can think, I wonder where they're going, or I wonder what they're
that's what I mean.
to.
There's ways to find your cozy in the wild and crazy.
Well, when I read about this, it reminded me a lot of Buddhism, or some sort of thought processes when it comes to Buddhism and Zen, and it's all about stop. Let's observe the beauty around us.
Pause.
But we also have this thing here, I think, where other people tell us what is the beauty, or tell us how to behave, or tell us how to stress release, and we sort of have to shut off those voices as well. It seems like that's what you're saying.
Or like, even when I'm looking at you guys here, it's like I remember being in my kitchen and having a bad moment, and I was just feeling the curve of my counter, and I was like, okay, like, I love this counter. Like I chose it. I like how it curves, and even like you're set up here. I mean, it's cozy. Like there's people.
It helps to have a cozy co-partner.
Well, it does, and I talked to radio host in the book, because radio is super cozy too. Like the click, even the click of the dial is really cozy. And she has. Oh, are we done?
Yeah, we
okay. Well, anyway,
we're wrapping it up. But this was so fascinating. Isabel Gillies, thank you so much for stopping by. The book is called Cozy: The Art of Arranging Yourself in the World. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.